Hello there and welcome to another video. This is AmassGames. This is Simon Lavender and this is, something a little special. This is from the Deutscher Spielepreis 2018 Goodie Box. This is whereby you can get promos to go in games. Now sometimes you don't really get to see what you're going to be getting in them, but the Deutscher Prize is usually for the best top 10 games of what they think is for the year and is voted on by the public. So unlike the Spiel des Jahres award, which I've mentioned before, that is very much a kind of commercially driven thing whereby there are license fees and royalties for what does well. But this doesn't have any of that as far as I'm aware. It's made by Frosted Games, and for 2018, Azul was ranked the #1 game. Rajas of the Ganges by Inka Marcus Brandt. I've done the Knockmal video. Highly recommend this game too. Nice dice game involving a race for fame and glory and stuff like that. Quacksalber. I don't think I've done a video for you for that one yet, but fantastic game. Also won Game of the Year. And finally, Altiplano, which we also have. So we own 3 of these games, and I've played it with the expansion. I played it with a kind of promo, and keen to try it with the promo that comes in this too. So this is it, and now we're going to open it up, and you'll see what's in there. Now, I do know what is in the box for Azul, and that involves an extra promo tile. So, this has been sat here for the best part of a year for me to then open up and play. I want to play with all the expansions and everything else first before I opened it. So here we go. Not much in there really. Azul. So this was the top 10. Gear Project came second. Raj is third, and Memoir down there for the Kinderspiel, Clans of Caledonia, so I played that one. I haven't played Heaven and Nail, just finished Pandemic Legacy Season 2 on Sunday. Klong, also known as Clank, I just happen to know that that is what the Germans call it. The Quacksalber von Quedlinburg, so that's the game I looked forward to filming for you soon. The Mind, which is a guessing game, first and foremost. And finally, Altiplano, which I mentioned from the designer who did Orléans, which I highly rate too. Go into more stuff. I think they're around £50 or £60 for these things, but you can basically get promo for each day as well. So what do I have in here? This might just be in German only. Let's find out. That's in German. We do have something in English. So this expansion can only be played when you use the front sides of the cauldrons. So you'll see that when I do the video. Place the test tube stand containing 2 parts in the middle of the table. Place a drop on each player's colour on the test tube on the left. And you can move a drop forward in the course of the game, either with a fortune telling card, a chip action, or by paying 2 rubies. You can decide which of your 2 drops you want to move forward, to drop in the cauldron or to drop on the test tubes in the middle of the table. If you decide to drop on the test tubes, you move the drop 1 glass forward to the right. That way it's easier to gain victory points. Depending on which side of the test tube you use, you'll have the following improvements. So at the end of the game, that's over here. In the game, all players empty their bags and count out all the number of their chips, white chips included. The total value of the chips must be divided by the value that you have achieved with the drop. For example, if the drop is still on the starting field, the total value is divided by 15. Players can buy victory points as well as ingredients during the game. The purchase price of victory points is determined by the position of the drop. At the start of the game, when the drop has not been moved forward yet, 1 victory point costs 12 money. If a player's moved his drop to the last test tube, 1 victory point costs 2 money. A player can buy any number of victory points during a round. He or she has enough money, if they have enough money. So when you have money left over when you're buying stuff, as you'll see under the video, you'll see that actually you can use it for other stuff too. But of course, you've got to wait till later in the game when you ought to be doing that. It's a game whereby you can only buy a maximum of 2 chips and 2 different colours as well. But the high value chips can of course be more beneficial. So the purchase price of victory points is determined by the point of the drop. Interesting. So I might well review that too. Altiplano, let's just go for the English side. Roll the alpaca rider. So, so you have to play it with a traveller. Good thing we've got that then. So when playing with a rider, take 1 food, 1 alpaca, 1 ore, 1 opal, and 1 coin. You may copy out the alpaca rider's special action at at any location and use any good, including food, to activate the action. When you carry out the action, move your game figure to the location where the traveller is currently situated. Any good, including food. Okay. Interesting. Rajas, now, I won't have this game to do a video for you necessarily, but I can explain what this snake expansion does. The tireless commitment of your people provides you with prestige and riches and makes your province flourish. As a symbol of your gratitude, but also as a demonstration of your social status, you give the order to build a magnificent garden that is supposed to bestow a piece of paradise on earth upon you and your subjects. Your workers will thank you for putting in extra effort. So it's talking to you about something in Persian as well. Oh, I see. So you'll have a game board that you'll have, and basically you can place these things out. So, okay. This allows you to build in a different way. Interesting. Azul. Now this is where you get an extra factory token. So I'll kind of briefly show it to you. Special factory displays. When setting up a game of Azul, return 2 of the usual factory displays box. Oh, okay. I was wondering how they're going to do this. In the game, it's played as usual, but when picking tiles from a special factory displayed during the factory offer phase, bear the following rules in mind. The special factory display has a wall surrounding it. When you pick all the tiles of one colour from it, the remaining tiles are not moved into the centre of the table, but remain on it. So, what's the other one? When you pick, so that was this one. When you pick all tiles of one colour from the special factory tile, the remaining tiles are not moved to the centre of the table. It said move them to factory displays to the immediate left and or right. Okay, dividing the tiles between those 2 displays as you like. The only restriction is that tiles of one colour may not be split up. Note, if the special factory display with the walls is directly adjacent to this one, tiles can be moved there too. Okay, you also get this other thing, 5 double scoring markers. When setting up a game of Azul, place a 5 double scoring markers next to the factory displays as a supply. Game is played as usual, however in this promo carry out the wall tiling phase in player order, rather than simultaneously starting the first player and going clockwise. Now, once a game, when you move one of your tiles from a pattern line over to your wall, you may double the points scored by the placement of that tile if the double score marker of that tile colour is available in the supply and next to the factory displays, and you have not already used a double score marker, because each game, each player can only do this once a game. Then take out the matching double score marker from the supply and place it in front of you to indicate that you've used it. So, okay, so it's also now made by the designer, he did this one. And this is our next move, also plan B. It's the double score marker of that tile. It's something, okay. So, interesting. Now, what do we have here? This looks like a game. I thought exclusive fan special edition. Are you hooked? So, the Carrier Black Stories game for a special accent I'm not allowed to use to forever cementing them. This looks like a game we get to play. So, I don't know what this is all about. I might open this now or in a bit. Let's just try and see if we can cut into this and see what this is all about. Very tough, whatever it is. Okay, so strange, some kind of story thing. Black stories are brain-teasing, morbid stories which may or may not have happened as told. By asking questions, guessing and thinking out loud, the series of events is pieced together. One of the players acts as the game's master. He picks up a card, reads the story on the front of the card, and then asks, how could that have happened? The answer is printed on the back of the card, which the games master, of course, keeps to himself. Knowing the answer, he can now respond to the questions asked by the inquiring public. Questions may be formulated as yes, no answers. With each question and its answer, the inquiring public inches closer to the right cause. The games master is always right, and the answer on the back of the card is the only right solution. Once the story has been solved, the next player takes his turn, being the games master for the next black story. Okay, so quite morbid stuff. Here are all the bits. So, we have these factory tiles. There's one example, and the 3 things there. Now suddenly we've switched over to other bits that's stuck together. We have, oh my goodness, they're huge. So we have these big laboratory things. Lovely. We have the alpaca one. Looks fun too. There's the other Azul tile. And then we have Rajas. So there we go. You obviously won't need to be carrying them around in this box, but the point being is you can then have this in the respective games that you have. And the weight though, just until you decide to do that, maybe you want to carry it along and bring it along to show people, is 237. Let me just check it hadn't reset. So just do that with the black stories in it too. So bringing that back from your place of purchase, 270 grams. Thanks very much. I look forward to trying those out and seeing if you try map 2 and see what you think. Thank you.